Daily Broadside, day 899. I don't want to live ever at any address that doesn't have either 3 or 4 digits in the address. There's something very off-putting to me about living at like 1 Travis Lane or 10,430. I don't know. I just want to be like a 3-digit number or 4-digit number. It's all I want. No more, no less. Everything else just seems weird to me. I was out west last week, out towards Texas, and I noticed there's a lot of Jacks in the Box, the restaurants, not the toy. Although, a little aside, the toy came out, the Jack in the Box toy came out in like the 1500s. Some German clockmaker made it, right? And which was probably a pretty cool thing, because Germans and the way that they engineer things are otherworldly complicated, overly complicated to the tune that they don't really need to be. But so it's been around for several hundred years, and yet the Jack in the Box just made the National Toy Hall of Fame list in like 2005. If I'm, the head of the Jack in the Box Society, because there's got to be one, right? I'd be a little pissed off, Nevertheless, what was I talking about? Oh, so the Jacks in the Box. I've never eaten at one because they don't really exist in North Carolina as far as I know. And if they do, they're not in my town. I've seen them before. I think they were in California the last time I was out there, which has been 20 years. But the problem I have is the box, big black box, as I recall, up on the sign, as it should be, but there's nothing popped out of it. Why don't they have like a little clown popping out of it? Is it because clowns are scary to some people and that would be more off-putting? Is it more of a maintenance thing? Like, I just put it on a big industrial spring and let the wind just do with it what it wants, Because here's the thing, right? You need something that's eye-catching with your place. Like, everybody lives in a town or near a town that has something like really crazy, right? There's a restaurant, there's some, pizza joint that's got like a 11-foot tall purple dinosaur painted out in the front parking lot that somebody made out of plaster of Paris in the 70s, and it's still there. Like, kids and people like cling to that kind of stuff. They're like, hey, let's go to that place that's got that big purple dinosaur. And then you go there and it attracts, you need something that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, there used to be a restaurant when I was a kid, it was called Daryl's, and it was in a neighboring city. And you go there, man, and there was a double-decker bus inside of it that a big gorilla was driving. Big stuffed gorilla, wasn't a real gorilla. And you could eat in the bus. There was like a jail cell. You could eat in the jail cell, and people, obviously, it probably came from a real jail. I mean, it was hardcore, 1-inch bars and everything that they probably procured from something that got imploded or whatever. And, it has a graffiti all written all over it and everything. You could ride in, like a carousel, like, the people that don't like to get on the donkeys and the parakeets and all the different animals, you always have that like parakeet that's like the size of the donkey or the tiger or whatever. You're riding on some huge bird that's like not, I think it'd be better if it was a real size little parakeet. You just kind of squat over it. But anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, so you got the people that don't want to get on the thing that goes up and down. You got 3 kinds of people that get on a merry-go-round or a carousel, as it were. The people that want to go up and down on an animal, the static animal, and then the weirdos that, unless they're handicapped, have no excuse for just sitting in that little, like, seat. Like, what is that? Anyway, that seat became, like, it was all gilded and gold and brass and, whatnot. And you could eat there. And the point of it was, people love that crap, right? And then I went there later on, and they'd taken the bus out, and they'd hauled off the jet. They'd redone the whole place, and it was just a restaurant. And it's like, Daryl's, your food was never that great. We just came because you had a big stuffed gorilla driving a double-decker bus that was kind of cool to eat on. I mean, everybody needs like something, some pizzazz, some kind of catching, like, glistening thing that, catches your eye. You're like, you're a crow. We're the crow, the person, right? The people that are out here, coming to your store, your restaurant, or your, whatever, right? And you need to get something that glints in the sun, some kind of shiny thing that we're like, whoa, what is that? Let's go check that out. Let's go check that out should be what draws people to your business. And a double-decker bus, however the hell they got it in there, I don't know if they built it around the, what the hell am I talking about? Anyway, Jack in the Box. Yeah, so they should find a way to put the Jack out of the box. Maybe that's why it's like that, because it's actually in the box, because they haven't. That wasn't I guess the Wizard of Oz. Anyway, it's not really important. And the last thing I'll say, because I've said enough on that, I don't even know if I addressed what I was going to address, but I have a problem with like mafia, like Italian mafia, right? Well, there's all kinds of mafia. You know, we're not talking about like the Japanese mafia, right? But like the Italian mafia, like none of those people are threatening. All right. They're all severely overweight. They eat nothing but pasta and wine. They're just not like nothing about them. Like, you know, you want to off somebody, you got to just, and here's the dumb part about it. You know how like in Donnie Brasco, for example, you know, Al Pacino gets the call. He did. Not really. I'll be right there. And whatever his name was, Smokey, Lucky, Larko. I don't know what his name was. Lucky. Seems like it started with an L. We'll call him Lucky. And Lucky's like, well, where's my coat and my keys? I've got to go get shot, you know. I mean, he just goes to, because he got called for. He got, you know, whatever, because he got in trouble, or I guess it was because Donnie Brasco, they found out Donnie Brasco was a cop, and then, you know, they got a Lefty. It was Lefty. Lefty. Not Lefty Driesell, the old Maryland coach that passed away. Good dude. But Lefty Nickelface, or Lefty the Nose, whatever kind of stupid moniker they gave him. My point is, like, that's why the mafia can off you so well, is because you just go to them. It's like, you know, jumping into a tiger cage. It doesn't make the tiger a good hunter. It makes you stupid, you know. All I'm saying is, I'm not just going up there to the back of the lounge to get, you know, popped in the head in the back of a, you know, I don't know, man. It's just dumb. Like, I think the you know, all these stupid, you know, Vinny Vermicelli and all these silly names and crap. I think they should hit a gym and be a little bit more daunting, you know. I think, you know, a 5'9", 310-pound guy who eats, you know, rigatoni all day long at the back of a dimly lit restaurant and orders people to get off is not really that threatening to me, you know, whether he knows where your family lives or not. I don't know. Anyway, that's all. Giddy.